So, but what are some of the other things that that are holding people back from unleashing the real me or real you, and why is it so hard for people to get there?
Well, it starts very, very young, Roland. It starts so young, and people don't realize it. It starts in their first few. It starts even in the first few months of life. Sometimes it even starts, while a baby is still in the womb, in the mother's womb. That emotional intensity that's taking place in the mother can be passed to the child. But as soon as a child is born, think about it. A child gets a name, gets a nationality, gets a race, gets a religion, and it's kind of like it gets labeled in that very first few months after it's born. And by the time it's one, it's definitely got all of those labels. It's got a nationality, a race, and a religion, as I said, and it's got a name. And now it begins to live out of that identity, and it has to learn to defend that fictional identity for the rest of its life. And so as we're growing up in those first early years, those first formative years of our lives, this is when we begin creating our identity. And when you look at how the identity is created, it's created from a need for safety. Because whenever a child feels unsafe, then it feels like it needs to do certain things and adopt certain behaviors, and it definitely makes certain decisions. Children make decisions and they form beliefs early on in their life, and they inherit beliefs from their parents and from their siblings and from the people who impress them, who are their guardians. Anybody they look up to, they inherit their belief structures and their paradigms, and then all of that goes into forming the identity. But this gets formed very, very early on, prior to the age of 7. So by the time you're 7, you've already formed the basis of your foundation in terms of your identity and the paradigm that you live out of. And really that paradigm is, how can I stay safe? How can I be safe? And so you've got adults in the world today who are functional on many levels, but underneath that, there's a dysfunction that's driving their behavior. So that's why they are driven to achieve certain things, because they think that by achieving, they're going to be more accepted. Or by achieving, they'll be more loved, or they'll feel safer, they'll feel more certain. And so we have a lot of people who become successful, but are still very unhappy. So it starts very early on, and it plays out for the rest of people's lives, unless they become conscious about it, or unless they find themselves in a workshop like the ones that you and I are talking about, and they begin to see things from a different perspective for the first time in their lives. And that's when people's lives change, because now they begin to realize what's driving them at an unconscious level. So it's about making the unconscious conscious, because if you don't make the unconscious conscious, you'll just keep having the same experiences in your life, and you'll just call it fate, just like Carl Jung said.